My name is Blake Everhart. I'm from the Indiana Migrant Education Program, and it is really hot compared to the snow that I just left in Indiana, so I'm loving it. I send pictures back all the time, and so it's great. In migrant education, basically our students come up from Florida and Texas for harvest season, so we looked for engaging technologies that we can get them basically to show up, and so we can help increase math and language arts skills. The weird thing about what we do is that our Indiana standards are different than our Florida and Texas standards, but our kids graduate from Florida and Texas, so we actually have to teach those standards when they come. So it's really a battle with our Department of Ed because they want us to teach Indiana standards, and if we're truly building this for our kids, we have to teach the standards that they need to graduate. So very, very interesting program that I do, but we use a lot of our Google products in our curriculum, and that's kind of why we decided to talk about this topic. With Google for Educators, there basically are 4 different certifications. There's the Level 1 Certified Educator. Basically, all you need to do is pay $10 and take a test. You have to answer some questions, but then you also do an online activity. So you actually do some skill building that is involved in there. The Fundamentals course is a free course that you can take and go through step-by-step how-tos and get some insight about that test. This is pretty loaded. It'll take you hours to get through. It's kind of nice. So even my teachers that don't look to get certified, I still guide them to this course because there's a lot of valuable information in there. Some of it is thought-provoking of thinking outside the box with my classroom. As I moved into my level 2, I have to have a prerequisite of passing the test for level 1, okay? And you see the price on there. The price does go up. It's online as well. There's also a free advanced class. Both of these courses you can go through and never get certified. They're online, they're free, they're available to you right now, okay? As we move into the next 2, these are a little more selected type of certifications. You have Certified Trainer and Certified Innovator. The Certified Trainer course actually just kind of changed a little bit in the past couple months. Before, they would have an open window in which you applied, and during that application process, you had to take a skills assessment test, which cost you some more money, but it was really more in-depth and intuitive. I mean, just really, I felt like that professionally it really helped me understand and remember some of the tools that I hadn't used in a while. But there's an application process is that when you answer questions, you take the test, you also have to submit a video. It's 1 minute about yourself and 2 minutes demonstrating a Google product, how to use it or something that you leverage. So this is really used for people that are really training other people, trying to get other people involved in the district, trying to expand beyond your classroom. Really neat process. The nice thing about this, there's no like window to apply. You can apply at any time, and you get notification within 4 to 6 weeks of applying. So very different than what it used to be. The Certified Innovator is an application process as well. There's no assessment. The only difference is you have to have the level 1 and level 2 certifications. And then you do an application as well where you do a video about yourself and about your project. So you actually come in here with a project that's innovative, something that you want to do. My Innovator project was drone school. We use a lot of drones in our school. We have 75 Phantom 2, DJI Phantom 2s, which are, you know, the drone that landed at the White House? We had 75 of those. We have another 100 little mini parrot rolling spiders that we code and that we teach the basic skills of flying. So my drone school was to go from the small little baby drones all the way up to the big drones. And the reason we want to do that is that we're dealing with kids that are in the fields. So for them to be able to use that to survey land, to understand drought situations and those types of things, but also give them skills now that they can use and get a job today. So we're talking videography. We're talking, you know, when cities are trying to get assessment values, right? Before they'd have someone walk around and they'd measure everything. Now you can fly a drone and actually get exact measurements of those things. Costs a lot less, and it's a lot quicker. So we try to lead our kids into things that are applicable in the real world, not just for right now. But the other piece of this is that kids are flying drones as toys. You can order them online, right? And there's FAA rules and regulations that we have to go by, local guidelines and laws you have to go by. So we kind of talk about those in my drone school. But the Innovator process has a window. During that window of application, they also tell you where it's going to be. For instance, the new Innovator cohort just got released, I think last Friday, and it's going to be in London. The good and the bad is, once you get there, it's free, but you have to pay to get there in your hotel. They move the location around every single time. So in last June it was in Boulder, and then it went to Toronto, and then it was in Mexico maybe around January, and then it's going to be London here in a month or so. So it's a really neat certification from the standpoint of you take your project and you build upon it. So there's maybe 30 or 40 people in your cohort, and they basically are like-minded, like outside the box, innovative people that challenge you, try to make your projects better, try to make you think differently. How can I scale this? And if you follow the GCI hashtag, you'll see a lot of awesome projects that are like, you can't do that. And they find connections and figure out a way. So really neat atmosphere and networking cohort to be a part of. So highly recommend if you're that type of leader to look at something like that. Once you take level 1, you have to take level 2 in a certain amount of time. No, there's no time limit. And actually, once you pay for your level 1, there's no amount of time that you have to pay, or you have to take that test once you pay for it. But I will tell you that the level 1 and level 2 tests will take you about 2 hours. So you need to be able to sit there the whole time. I think they do give you roughly 3 hours for the test. That has not changed, it's still the same thing. The testing piece is, there's like 25 questions of multiple choice. And then there's the project-based piece that you have to do, that you have to finish. The nice thing about it, once you submit, you get notified fairly quickly. So it's not like you have to wait for days. With the certified trainer, certified innovator, once you apply, again, you have a time period of waiting to know if you got in or not. But the certified educators, you know fairly quickly, typically within an hour. My level 1 I knew within an hour, my level 2 I knew within 10 minutes. So, but these are the course. You can have access to the slides. I'll go back to the main slide, but I'll give you access to that. And then access the fundamental course. If you actually Google for education certifications or Google Educator certifications, it's funny that it pops up at the top every time, and they will list out all of the courses, the descriptions, the prerequisites, stuff like that. And you can go select it. You can go through the courses freely. There's no sign-in required. So they don't have to collect anything from you. So that's really kind of nice.